The doc is back in for the latest edition of the Alvin Parker Coaches Show. Again, on location, we are in historic Barco Stevens Hall, homecoming week. Guess the Gym Jam is coming up in a little bit, but that's, I guess, the prelude to what will take place Saturday afternoon as Virginia Union will play Bluefield State. Homecoming, Senior Day, and Military Appreciation Day all on Saturday at Hovey Stadium. As always, I'm with the head coach, Alvin Parker. This team is rolling right now. 5 straight victories, all in conference play, remain tied for first place in the CIAA with Johnson C. Smith. And the great thing, Coach, you control your own destiny. You don't have to worry about anybody else in the final 2 games of the season.
Yeah, when you get to October, you want to make sure you're in control of your own destiny. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think even more that this team has is right now being undefeated in conference play. That necessarily wasn't a thing last year, So, we had to kind of make sure we just kind of took care of business on one front. But now with us being undefeated in conference play right now, it makes it a little different type of thing. But I think they still have the same hunger and everything else that, a championship team is supposed to have.
Well, you guys took care of business on Saturday, defeating Bowie State 56-28. Third game this season. You racked up over 600 yards of offense. I think we mentioned this last week. One team could be happy with just 1 week of doing it. You've done that 3 times this season, and it's going to be going with Jada Byers, what he did up there. 4 different school records he broke in the win last Saturday.
Yeah, I think we're definitely playing well offensively, but I think we're playing well as a whole team right now. Some of the the offensive numbers do get to be look a little exciting right now, and when you see them, you check them out, you say wow, it's kind of that. But I think we have so many guys playing good right now on offense, and you look at that. That's why we're doing a lot of good things on offense, and then you look at it from a team perspective, and I think we got guys everywhere doing a whole lot of things.
We mentioned 600 yards of total offense. It was 614. Jada Byers rushed for 324 in the game. He is now the career rushing holder. He's the career touchdown scorer. He also set a new single game record, the record he broke a couple years ago against Valdosta State, and he also has a single game touchdown record. 6 touchdowns, broke a 93-year-old record last Saturday. But let's go with that first play. I guess he wanted to set the tone. You guys wanted to set the tone offensively. 75 yards to break the career rushing mark previously held by your former teammate, Andre Braxton.
Yeah, I think it was a well-blocked play. Everybody kind of just hit it. It's one of those plays where you look around and everybody did their job, and boom, touchdown, 75 yards. So, of course, he's special. We know he can get it done, but to look around and see kind of everything that happened on that play was something that was good. We had a bunch of guys blocking and a bunch of guys finishing blocks, and then, of course, when he gets all of that, he can make some things happen. So that was kind of a way to do it. He wasn't going to wait to, second, third carry to do it. He got it out the way in the first carry. So, I was pretty happy about that.
We always talk about the 5 guys up front. They've done a great job all season, but also the wide receivers blocking downfield.
Mm-hmm.
It was a collective effort to get Jada the touchdown. I don't know if they were even thinking about breaking the record, but just to get him open down the sideline and then eventually scoring.
Yeah, I don't know if they were necessarily thinking about breaking the record, but I think, we just make a concerted effort every play to kind of just go out there and do your job, and I think those guys did that, So it was a few plays that you could look up and see, kind of everybody just playing, that level best out there, no matter who was out there, first guys, second guys, anybody that's on the roster that go out there and are given an opportunity to make a play for us. I think they did that on Saturday.
And once again, jumping out on an opponent. I think this is like probably every game this streak, you've held somebody to at least 7 points or fewer. You outscored Bowie 35-7 in the first half. How much do you emphasize jumping out? Maybe not 35-7, but jumping off fast, setting the tone early, and kind of taking the win out from an opponent like that.
Anytime you can do that, you get off to a good start. I think at that point you just got to go to what our next motto is kind of finish. So those guys did a good job, and they've been doing a good job of that the past few weeks, making sure that, we start fast. And I think that comes from, like I've said before, just the focus level that we have in practice and the focus level that we have in meetings, that when those guys get to start a game out and get the opportunity to play, they put in a top gear, and we've been able to do that.
Let's talk about the duo of Mark Wright and Reginald Vick Jr. Both of those guys have played really, really well during the stretch. Vic, again, named receiver of the week. Almost 150 yards receiving, and Wright, again, playing efficiently for you during this stretch.
Yeah, right now, Mark is leading the country in pass efficiency. And we haven't had a quarterback since I've been here to do that. So that's something that's pretty daggone huge, and that's something that needs to be talked about. Quarterback that's getting it done. And RJ is putting up great numbers. I think this may be his fourth or fifth.
Fifth one.
100-yard game. So he's a bright spot. When I kind of seen him walking in the door as kind of a young pup, and you kind of say, you know what. This guy got something special, now I'm guessing the world's getting a chance to see it, so he's a big time receiver.
I mean, we got to go back probably a ways as to how far back a receiver has had 5 100-yard plus games in a season. And Vic has done it, not even ranked in the top 20 in the CIAA. I don't understand why.
Yeah, it's just it's a mistake, our SID has been working to get that fixed, but he's maybe like if you go to the NCAA numbers, he's like maybe like. He's in the top 10 in terms of his performance as far as the NCAA goes, but it's just a glitch right now. I think that's just kind of not allowing him to be ranked in those numbers for the CIAA. But he's definitely numbers, yards, touchdowns, catches, everything that he's been doing has been high level for a wide receiver.
Last 2 games, 11 catches, 256 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Vic. He was one of 5 players that were recognized by the CIAA in their position for Player of the Week. It was Vic, Byers, Matthias Nielsen, Offensive Lineman of the Week, Shamar Graham. We talked about the defense, and also Brady Myers. 8 for 8 on extra points on Saturday, and going back to the space where you had the game-winning field goal a couple of years ago.
I mean, to get 5, I think we probably got close there before. Got to go back to the history books and kind of check it. But those guys, all deserved it. Everybody played well, and just to kind of make sure that we had, guys in place that can just get it done, and multiple guys getting it done, to the tune of 5. So I'm happy about that, and it just speaks volumes about the program.
56-28 was the final score. Virginia Union now have won 5 in a row. They're 6-2 overall. If they win out, they will play in the CIAA championship game in a couple of weeks in Salem. We'll talk more about that coming up in our final segment when we talk about Bluefield State. Homecoming, Senior Day, and also Military Appreciation Day. With the coach, I'm Sean Robertson. More of the Alvin Parker Coaches Show right after this.
The styles you want, the brands you love, with the service you deserve. Better Menswear. From formal to casual wear, we carry quality men's clothing at sensible prices, where fashion and service meet affordability. That is Better Menswear.
Football is more than a game. It's a legacy built by trailblazers who paved the way for the next generation. I remember the doubters, but I refuse to let anyone define my limits. To the game changers who came before us, and to the ones who are yet to step into the field. Keep pushing boundaries, keep breaking records, and keep leaving your mark.
All right, back for our final segment here on the Alvin Parker Coaches Show, live from inside of historic Barco Stevens. This is homecoming week here on the campus of Virginia Union. We talked about it. It's Senior Day and homecoming for the Panthers as they host Bluefield State, a team that has struggled in the CIAA. Coach will use that coach's talk. Hey, don't overlook the opponent, but it's going to be an electric atmosphere given what's going to take place with homecoming, Senior Day, Military Appreciation Day. And you guys, especially in the last 5 games in this streak, set the tone early. So if you want to come out, get out there early because you may see some fireworks with Virginia Union on Saturday.
Yeah, we're excited, that it's homecoming, and I think more so we're just excited to get the opportunity to play. I think, the guys have gotten to that point with so many things that just, that kind of repetitive. And I told them, Tuesday's going to be Tuesdays, Wednesday's going to be Wednesdays, Thursday's going to be Thursdays, kind of like that right now. And I think those guys are kind of locked into that. Of course, today we're in Barco, so, we're going to have a pet rally. It's going to be some parties and stuff here, all type of stuff that's going to kind of go on into that, but we've already practiced today. We've already worked today, so we got meetings in a little bit. So I think those guys know what it is. They know what the work is. So, just able to kind of put it all together and just kind of, get to Saturday. And I think those guys are kind of ready and eager for that.
Now, you mentioned your media availability. You don't want to shield the guys away from all of the homecoming activities, but you also want them to be laser focused. So how do you balance that line of giving them a leash to enjoy some fun, but also rein them back a little bit because the task is not going to take place until Saturday.
Yeah, it's tough, but because you want to be kind of on that fine line of making sure again that they're college students, but I want to make sure that they know exactly what homecoming means. And when they get to be alumnus of the university and they get to do different things, they can represent that well as also. So that's one part of it, but I think also you have a job to do. And I think they understand that and they know that. So, it hasn't been real hard to kind of keep them focused.
Outside of the rivalry game, is this the toughest game to get your guys prepared for mentally for homecoming because of everything away from the field that they have to kind of, I won't say shield, but you want to be a 19, 20, 21-year-old young man and enjoy the festivities that come with homecoming?
Yeah, it hasn't been the toughest one, I think, because we played in a lot of big games since I've been here, and maybe it's just me. I think some other games are just kind of, you got to get them focused up on a little differently, and some things we've done here since I've been here. We played in some big games, some classics, some TV games, a bunch of games that, been pretty daggone noteworthy. So, sometimes it may be me. Maybe I just think we have to over-prepare and do things like that. So, I don't know, but, I go off to work. And I think, we can check boxes every day. Like I say, our main goal is to attack the day. And I think we attacked the day so far pretty daggone good that it hasn't been a lot of room for guys not to be focused.
Now, Bluefield comes in 1-7. They're winless in the CIAA this year. They're 0-5 in conference play, and they've lost 6 straight. So on paper, you're thinking this should be a win. But what concerns you about this Bluefield State team on Saturday?
I think, Coach Morgan, I know him well. At one point I was going to hire him on my staff. He's definitely a good coach. He's going to get the opportunity to kind of come back home this weekend. He's from Richmond, and get a chance to kind of put his mark with his program. I know they're going to be ready. Again, they really don't have anything to lose, at this point. They got the opportunity to kind of come in and play some good ball against, we feel like, a good team in us.
I was going to say that's the biggest thing is the fact they have nothing to lose, and you mentioned over-preparing. So it's almost like you got to prepare for literally anything that they're going to put out there because, they're like I said, they got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
That's kind of been, how we've been kind of doing every week, to be honest, Sean. I think at this point in the season, like I've said all the time, you want to make sure you got something to play for in October. Yep. And then secondly, you want to be playing your best in October, because I think October decides a whole lot of things, and that leads right into November where we'll be on Saturday.
Are you playing your best football right now of the year?
I think we are. Made a joke earlier, and he said, I think we can get on Noah's Ark because we got about two of everything, and I looked at it and said, because we got a bunch of guys that can play. And I think right now those guys, when they get the opportunity, they take advantage of it, like I've said before, So, I think right now we're in a mode where we're playing some good ball, offensively, defensively, special teams wise. And moreover, I think the coaches are doing a heck of a job of having these guys prepared, so if I had to say that, I think we're playing some good ball right now. I think our best is still in front of us a little bit.
Well, 2 more games in the regular season in November. It starts Saturday when Virginia Union plays Bluefield State. We will emphasize it again. It's homecoming. It's senior day. You being a former player, you have been on that field playing on senior day, playing at homecoming. What does that mean for a player putting on that jersey, that home jersey, for the last time in the regular season to be out in front of the home fans?
Well, we got 23 guys here that are going to be walking on Saturday. So 23, that's big time from guys that have come through the program. Like I say, all the time, to get to this point, a lot of them guys already have degrees, and stayed an extra year to play some football. So that's something that's big. And then a lot of those guys are still right there on the cusp of getting a degree, so that's the most important thing. But, it's that one last time that you get to play that regular season game, here at Hovey. And, it means a lot. I remember my senior day and all the family members that came down and everybody that kind of came to watch. And, we played a pretty daggone good game that day, so those guys got that in front of them. And, then, you could turn around and enjoy all the festivities, and put it all together and have a good homecoming. And, once you do what you have to do, but, it's going to be a joyous occasion.
And controlling the emotions. I mean, that's going to be the biggest
Absolutely.
thing because all of the senior activities is going to be before the game. But then after that, you got to get together and play a football game.
Football game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
what else should we pay attention to with Bluefield State? Because a dangerous team, even though they've lost 6 in a row, and the fans are going to be saying this should be a victory, but for 60 minutes, you got to play your best football to still keep that prize in front of you.
Yeah, they had a pretty daggone good running back. The quarterback can throw it around pretty good. They have a couple capable receivers out there, and defensively, I think they play hard. They have a couple guys that up front that got good motors. We know they get a good pass rush on the quarterback. I think they have 10 sacks on the year, so that's kind of close to the top in the league. So we know they're going to be, like I said, we know they're going to be prepared. And we got to go into the game. A lot of times, you can't even look at the name that's on the jersey. You just got to make sure you just prepared. For whoever you're going to play. And I think the guys, like I say, and the coaches have done a great job of just making sure we prepare when we hit that field on Saturday.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you Saturday against Bluefield State, and then we'll be back here next week to talk about the season finale, taking out that trip down I-95 South.
Sounds good.
Folks, don't forget, please get to the campus early on Saturday for homecoming and senior day against Bluefield State. There are going to be a lot of activities around Hovey Stadium. Get here early, and if you can't, for whatever reason, make it out, it will always be on the CIAA Sports Network, and we will recap Union and Bluefield State next week, and we will talk about the season finale. Potentially could be winner take all. Winner plays in the championship game, and the loser could be out. We'll talk about that next week. For the coach and our entire crew, I'm Sean Robertson. We'll say so long, happy homecoming, and we'll talk to you next Thursday night here on the Alvin Parker Coaches Show.